Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jeff here from taekwondodali.com. This is my first ever YouTube interview. We wanted to do it live, couldn't get it live, unfortunately, because apparently I have to read the rules for YouTube, because rules are a thing. So, but this is Jeff from taekwondodali.com. Taekwondo Dali, like the name implies or explicitly says in Hangul, Dali is bridge in Hangul, and it is bridging martial arts and martial artists through dialogue-inducing content and experiences. So we do our site does have a good video up. It's the only video up on YouTube other than this one when you watch it. But it is of me and my guest, who I will introduce in a second, winning the Sensei Ichi Naihanchi Sandan Challenge through COVID-19. And I think we're all feeling the effects of it, and we will certainly talk about it today. But thank you, Sensei Ichi. You're awesome. I'm so glad our awesome picture made it, and
Great
you know,
picture.
our attempt at doing something that you teach every single day, and we just tried to do it as best we could, just like any other good martial arts student, right? That shows up, because at the end of the day, no matter what belt you're wearing, you're still a beginner. Somebody knows something else, and it's amazing to feel that, right? And to learn that, learn something new. So really, really happy about that, and really, really happy to come at you today. We will probably do this live tomorrow, because I think the YouTube 24-hour rule, after you get only 10 views, which I think 7 of them were mine. But
Three were mine.
Yeah, so we're good. So 24 hours from now, hopefully a little less than 24 hours from now, since it's 9:47 on Central Standard Time. I was gonna say on the Central Coast. Who says on the Central Coast? I mean, on the East Coast, on the West Coast. You're on the East Side, you're on the West Side. It's not exactly the Mississippi, because that's over on the other side of the state, right? Illinois?
It's just not a coast.
Yeah, okay. All right, so without further ado, I am Jeff from taekwondodali.com. Come over to the blog, taekwondodali.com. Check it out. I have a couple of really good posts on there. I try to post from the heart. I also try to post to create some dialogue. So go there, join up, find some dialogue. I welcome everything that you guys have to offer, and this is a great community. So please, by all means. And without further ado, with all my hand gestures, I am going to introduce Master Kira Redke.
Hi guys, everybody. Master Kira here, coming to you. Owner operator of Lake Zurich Family Martial Arts here in the Chicago suburbs.
And the Chicago suburbs is actually in Lake Zurich, Illinois, right?
It is.
And tell me about the suburbs of Chicago, especially the northwest suburbs where we are right now, right? Because we're not in Lake Zurich right now.
Correct.
We're in Barrington,
Yes.
which is just south of Lake Zurich, right? South?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep, a little bit south.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
And I didn't bring my compass, and my
Yeah.
Apple Watch doesn't have a compass.
Yeah, Chicago suburbs, not quite city, but not quite farmland, kind of just somewhere in the middle. We're a little bit closer to the city here in Barrington, and I grew up in Elgin, just a little bit further west, closer to where things become a little bit more corn and soybean. But yeah, great place to live. I've grown up here my whole life.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's gorgeous out here. It's been gorgeous out here this summer. A little bit humid, right?
Typical. It's been better than most times. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But today, let me check my watch nerd. It was 88 today.
Yep.
I took Rio, my dog, out for a walk, And quickly she learned that she wanted to come back to the house.
It's a little thick.
Where it was
It's a little thick.
nice 72 degrees inside.
Yeah.
I did a workout in the old Curry Dojo, which, by the way, if you haven't seen the Sensei Ichi video, it was done in the Curry Dojo, just right over there. And Curry Dojo, aka, is my garage. But it's pretty awesome dojo. All right.
Pretty awesome.
I mean,
most of the ninja classes over COVID-19 were recorded in the Curry Dojo.
yes. Yes. To
Actually-
include.
Actually, one of my ninjas was very concerned this week because I showed up in the LZFMA, the actual studio, the actual dojo, with the mats and the bags and everything, where we actually train. And my little buddy was very concerned. He wondered where my garage went.
Right.
So I let him know that the garage was okay, but I had just moved locations. So yeah, Curry Dojo is infinitely famous to all the ninjas of Lake Sturrock Family Martial Arts.
To include, I will say, and I'm going to have to post the video. We're going to have to post the video because you zoomed it and recorded it when it was Mom's Day for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And I stood in
Yes.
as a mom and I was wearing my black Iron Man gi
Yes.
and my awesome October Breast Cancer Awareness Month
Oh, yeah.
pink belt. And I had the coolest. It's not corduroy. It's not
Plaid.
corduroy. Plaid. See, yeah. Sorry.
Pattern is
Pattern versus.
Texture.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But
He not only stood in for the lesson, but he also squatted in the lesson.
and I was
Standing and
squatted, as in like doing the squats, and I think we'll post it. I think we will post that part.
Absolutely.
Because definitely had a big seated blowout. I didn't
Wardrobe.
think Iron Man uniforms could rip, and it ripped at the seam. So I have a feeling like I was doing some sweet kicks like a couple of days before, and
Loosened
maybe
it up.
like loosened it up.
Yeah.
And then when I squatted, I couldn't pull the fabric over my knees, and it caught. And because I just have like these powerful legs from kicking, and
Quads of steel.
right? It just ripped. I mean,
It was a great squat.
we'll have to. We've talked about it way too much not to post it. so we will post that video. But the one reason we're here today, it's not 2019, but it is the Century Martial Arts Super Show Virtual Summit Day 1 recap from TaekwondoDali.com with special guests throughout all of our recaps. Hopefully, if you're available,
I'm in.
boom. We're going to do this every day. So here's the deal. I am going to skip all the way down my outline. I'm one of these outline guys. Grew up as an English lit major in college, so outlines are everything to me. But I will skip forward,
Okay.
and I will say that I first attended the I don't think I was the first to attend. I think the first one I attended.
Attended, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the first one to
No.
attend. Certainly not. I don't think I'm old enough to.
No.
Sorry, Frank. Mike.
No, you could have been there.
You think so?
Yeah, you could have been
You
there.
think so? What
I think
year?
you said it's the 19th year. I think next year is the 20 year. I think.
And because I'm 29,
Yes.
just kidding. I probably could have. I'm 39. 20 years ago? 19?
You could have been there.
If I was on my game, if I knew what Maya was, and I could be an instructor at 19, I could have gone, huh?
Yeah.
What was I doing? Messing around in college. Army ROTC scholarship got me. Colorado State University, go Rams! Anyway, that's just because Vegas is in the West, and we are not in the West. We are in Barrington, Illinois. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying that I talk a lot
Jeff first attended the Supershow.
Thank
and
you.
Then
Last year, and then
And-
I had a great time. It was the first time. I will tell you this: my past Century Martial Arts Super Show experience was 1 year ago. First time. And I will tell you, it was amazing. And it was amazing on several points. And the first point that I should, I have to put this out because I'm a forever fanboy, like forever fanboy of everybody who throws kicks on TV. Ernie Reyes Jr. I met Ernie Reyes Jr. That guy is awesome. Number one. Number two, I remember being a little kid in the suburbs of Riverside, California, watching him be the last Electric Knight. I mean, as a kid, watching his, I don't know if you've ever seen his performance in The Last Dragon. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't talk about movies with you, huh? I mean, you're just too busy doing life things for movies, I think. I honestly think so, because I'm not. And I enjoyed that. And I mean, he's just one of those guys, right? Surf Ninjas, Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which, by the way, that's a whole reason why I was even wanting to be in martial arts, was Chuck Norris, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got to meet Ernie Reyes Jr., Donatello. I got to see Chuck Norris live. I've never seen that guy in my life. I don't know if you know this or not, but in sixth grade, I wrote and performed in front of my class, language arts, a biography book report, and I did it on Chuck Norris's biography. And I showed up. I was a yellow belt in Taekwondo, Rocky Mountain Taekwondo, actually, under Master Graziano and Master Smith, and Mr. Williams. Boom! Shout out, Rocky Mountain Taekwondo. And I showed up in my dobok, my yellow belt, and I performed. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We're totally getting off the subject right now.
Absolutely.
Because this is hosted by me and we're not live yet. So probably won't edit it because I don't know how to edit. This is just going to go straight onto the old interwebs because it should be live. We'll do it in the spirit of being live.
Absolutely.
Right? It'll be doing the spirit. Anyway, first time virtual summit, first time last year.
It was a great idea for you to go.
It was awesome. Whose idea was that?
Whose idea was that?
Somebody's.
Who? Did you know somebody that was going?
I think I knew somebody.
You knew somebody that was already going.
Yeah, and two instructors, in fact.
Yeah. Oh.
A guy named Ted.
Yes.
Huselman. Huselman? Is that what you say his name? Huelsman. These Midwest names, you never know. I'm Curry, like the spice. I mean, and then you, right? Was it you?
That's right. It was me.
So
yeah.
I got swindled into going to Vegas and having the time of my life, and with the LZFMA crew.
Yep.
And it was awesome. And I will tell you, it was paradigm shifting for me. And it was a year ago, I wrote about it in my blog. It was one of the longest posts, I think, that I wrote. Longest of 7 or 8 posts. Hey, I'm an English major. I don't know how to count very well. So as long as it goes past one of these, we're good to go. But yeah, it was awesome. And read that blog. I'll link it down in the description below. But it was great. And I will say that when I was there, I wanted to do this recap live interviews throughout the whole Super Show. And so I decided it was a good idea to, number one, sign up not as Jeff Curry U.S. Army Reserves, but as Jeff Curry, TaekwondoDolly.com. So because I did have this blog then, it's been very slow, but the content's good. I'm going, quality over quantity.
There you go.
Anyway, I wanted to get this idea off the ground, and this year was the year I was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
I was supposed to line up a bunch of interviews. I wanted to get Sensei Ichi. I wanted to get some snapshots and maybe a couple of sound bites from Mr. Silverman or Mr. Metzger, or some of the amazing support and customer service crew that always show up for Century, and then go seek out some instructors to see what they think and see how they like what's been going on, and unfortunately can't go to Vegas.
Yeah, but I just think it's cool that because I remember mentioning the Super Show to you, and as a martial arts practitioner, I didn't know if you were going to enjoy it or if it was going to be for you. I started going to the Super Show several years ago when I decided I not just wanted to be a part-time martial artist, I wanted to be a full-time martial artist. I figured that would be a good thing for me to go to, and some of the people that I've gone to that are just die-hard practitioners that maybe don't run their own program or their own school, they hated it because it wasn't all the physical training.
And all,
I think
by the way,
cool
last year though had some amazing training.
Absolutely, I just think it was cool because you could see it for all of its great benefits.
Yes, no, for sure. It was awesome. But I will tell you, but on that training note, first of all, Superfoot Bill Wallace, I grew up watching this dude on film. It wasn't theatrical release because I was born in 1980, so do the math, but it was awesome. And I got to do some stretches and throw some kicks, and I'm a kicker, so I like that stuff. And this guy, if I could do what he does that now, at my age, like, I would like to hold on to that. Like, that guy is awesome. Awesome. I was struggling in the straddle splits, and he looks at me and laughs. And you know what it made me do? Breathe, relax, lower myself a centimeter more. Hey, gains, right? Hashtag gains. And I'll tell you, I got punched in the face. Mike Guido, hey, you hit me in the head, and it was awesome, man. That was a heck of a move. You're a fast dude, just so you know. And I just everybody. I mean, Billy Blanks was there. Michael J. White, who I think I interrupted. I tried to get like a photo and like a soundbite from him because I was like, half trying to get this thing off the ground, and I think I interrupted him. And I felt really bad because he was like he did give me one of these, like, and I was like, okay, all right. So anyway, just so you know, we're gonna do this recap. We're doing it now, virtually. Well, we're not virtual because we're real people in the same place, but
you'll view it virtually.
But you'll actually view it in a, like, as you as a person. You're not virtual. We're just gonna post it to the interwebs. That's what we'll do. But you'll see it.
You can watch the rerun.
Yes.
I call it the rerun.
Yeah, the rerun. Because tomorrow, all stars lining up, will be live. And I wanted to do this last year. This is the seed that was planted. Starting this year, perfect opportunity. Hey, look, you got to look at the silver lining. We're virtual summit, right? We're gonna get it virtual. We're gonna do this virtually. Boom.
It is.
You're seeing us virtually because we're real. I'm seeing you. You're seeing me. We're real. But you're seeing me and her, and we're virtual because
you're not here.
Us. Yeah.
You're not here.
Yeah. And that would be really weird if you were here. But if you were, we'd offer you something to drink and have a sit. S-I-T, sit. I am having a happy hour.
A sit and a sip.
Yes, yes.
A sip.
And you are having pink cup water because guess who has to teach tomorrow?
I have to be up early tomorrow to attend all of the training sessions with my staff.
Oh yes, you're right. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah. So oh man, look at me. I am talking about myself because that's what I do. So let's do. I talked about my Super Show experience, my extensive Super Show experience.
That one time.
What about yours?
Well, I was looking back at Facebook today, a little bit sad because all of the memories from Vegas have been coming up on my feed, and it turns out that I've attended quite a few Super Shows. I would say probably 5 or 6. I need to really sit back and talk about and count them up. Yeah, but again, my martial arts journey brought me to quit my real job as a school teacher so I could do martial arts full time, and that's when I started going to the Super Show, and I attended for a couple years as I was working on that endeavor. And ever since I bought my own school, I've tried to go every single, and I have gone every single year, except I didn't actually go this year.
Let me back this up, just because you threw a lot out there. Let me unpack a little bit. That's what we say in the podcast world, and when I say we, I mean everybody else, because I've never done one, but I wanted to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I am going to unpack that a little bit. So, martial arts journey.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, I think like you and I started training at the same age, right? Because I'm just a little bit older than you, right? About a month.
Almost a month.
Yeah. But about 12, right?
Yep.
Is when you started training?
Yep. Summer of 6th grade.
Wow. So when did you start teaching full-time?
Teaching martial arts.
Martial arts full-time.
Full-time was 2000, I think it was 2013.
So you went from 1981 January to 2013. So you already had, what was that? Math is not my thing.
Yeah, it was 20, close to 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
In the martial arts.
Wow. Arithmetic.
I used to teach math. We're okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing I wanted to unpack is you are actually a classical trained teacher, educator.
Yes.
So you're classically trained, bachelor's and master's, right?
Yep.
In secondary education.
Yes, I have a degree in secondary education. I'm sorry, I have a certificate in secondary education. I have a degree in mathematics. That's my bachelor's, and my master's is in mathematics education.
So, first of all, that's an amazing background to come from. Amazing, especially being a martial arts instructor. So, give me the wave tops on how your education has your education in education has shaped what you do today.
Yeah, absolutely. As a teacher, I have all the tools to work a classroom management, working with students, developing
classically trained
lesson plans,
education teacher, right?
Absolutely, So I got to, when I decided to make the leap and go crazy and quit my real job to be a martial arts instructor, I had a whole lot of tools already in my tool belt,
right.
To go out and do that. And since then, I've been just working on now how do I keep the business running,
sure.
Which is why I go to the Super Show.
Yes, and so just so you know, you can have all the talent in the world, which obviously we've got somebody with most of that talent, but you need the business practices, right?
Yeah, you gotta keep the doors open.
You need the industry best practices, and my background is I'm a systems guy from the military, and classically trained in business through my graduate degrees, but I don't have that teacher background, and there's a lot of things that the Super Show really changed for me, about being a martial artist and being a leader in a martial arts organization, and then thinking, and somebody might say it's old school or the way they did it was old school, but I get it. It's traditional. But just in keeping with the best practices of the industry, I mean, what's a better venue? Right?
I have found none.
Right, exactly. Which is why you've been going for 6 years, right?
Yeah.
And when you started going to the Century Martial Arts Super Show, did you do that because somebody told you about it? Did you look it up online? Were you looking for, an industry association type convention? What were you looking for?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, we used to get the magazines, the
Maya
magazines
magazine?
I believe it was the Maya magazine
Okay.
from Century, because obviously at the school I was at, we had a
Right,
Century account,
right.
and we used to get the magazines. I used to flip
Cheers.
through them,
Right.
And and then that's how I found out that the Super Show was out there and was a thing. And I asked a couple people that I knew that had schools or were in the martial arts teaching, running a school industry, if they knew about it, and I just wound up there. Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect or what to do, and I just
Did you go as
went
a
in there.
lone
all
wolf?
by myself.
And then when did you start bringing your team?
The first time I ever brought anyone, I take that back. The first time I brought my team, I brought my business partner last year. And a couple years prior, there was another instructor at the school that I was at who attended with me.
Oh, apart from LZFMA.
Correct.
Okay.
Another school ago.
Sure. Wow. So, and I was there with Ted. So Ted and I,
First time.
I remember being at that first, with Frank Silverman. It was the introductory class. And I was sitting there, I was taking furious notes because I was going to write an article about it, which, beautiful crafted article. If I do say so myself, I'll put the link down there. But in the comments down there, not under the table. You're on, never mind. But I will say, me and Ted sat there, and Ted and I sat there. Yeah, Ted and I. Grammar.
Grammar police.
Yeah.
English major.
English comp TA, and I messed that up. It's all right. We're not all perfect, right? Anyway, Ted, I just remember him sitting there going, "This is gonna be good."
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. In fact, I said, "This is gonna be good," and he said, "Yeah." And it was Frank was great, and then we slid into Mr. Metzger, and he immediately provided value, and that's also in that article from last year. So read up. Anyway, so
Should we talk about this year?
virtual
Let's talk about this year.
Martial Arts Super Show, Century Martial Arts Super Show, Virtual Summer 2020. No, I did that. But I will say this. Let's get into our top three. And because I've been speaking so much about me, I'm going to start off with my top three. And I'll prime you.
Maybe we
right?
can go back and forth.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
See, this is why she is an educator and a
Taking
and
turns,
a chief
taking
instructor,
turns.
chief instructor,
Take
right?
turns.
Yeah, yeah. It's which is a common theme in your ninja classes, right?
Taking turns?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And also in your adult classes, because we still have to pass the target back and forth.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So
Everyone needs a turn.
I'm a target hoarder. As in, you hold the target and I'll throw the kick. Anyway.
He collects a lot of them too.
That's true. I have the old school Century square hand targets with the diamond, the old school diamond. Yeah, and they're well worn. They're still going. Those things are like 25 years old, 24 years old, 24 years old. Wow. I think never mind. Anyway.
Top three.
My top three of today. Number one, Jocko Willink.
Agreed.
So, here's the deal. I've been a huge fan of Jocko for years. And, I've read his books, not all of them. Like Master Ken said, his books, Way of the Warrior Kid and stuff, they're a little bit elementary, and I get that. But I have read his Dichotomy of Leadership and his first book, which I should have put a note on here because it's literally right there in my Kindle, and I can't pull it up right now.
Sorry.
I can't. Extreme Ownership. There we go. Yeah, him and Leif Babbitt. Anyway, both former Navy SEALs. Both have fought wars. Fought in the same war I fought in the Iraq War, and they were in Ramadi, and I was in Baghdad and just south of Baghdad. And I will tell you that the things that they, as a Ranger qualified infantry officer, I've been in the military, I've been in the Army for 16 years, only got a couple more years left, and I will say I'm a combat veteran and a leader that continually grinds to find, that achievement of excellence, that thing, as a leader, from me and my organization to achieve excellence. I was looking forward to it. He did not disappoint. He crushed it. I don't know. I can't give enough admiration to this guy, to Jocko Willink. So appreciate you guys putting him on as the keynote. And I don't know. I mean,
I think for me, it was the humility of that man.
Right?
It was so great. It just that made me want to listen to him even more. Just the humility of the way he spoke, and he talked about how he wrote a little kid's book. Like
as powerful,
what a bad dude.
Yeah.
Like what a bad mamma jamma. Like what an awesome man.
Yeah.
And then he talked about how he made a little kid book.
As
humility.
As powerful as that guy
humble.
is.
Yeah.
And his humbleness and humility. I mean, isn't that what martial artists are?
That's it.
Right? They strive to be humble by being internally powerful. And he really he knocked it out of the park. I'll say that. So we're gonna go to. Did we agree on that one?
Definitely.
On number one?
Agreed.
So you don't have a number one?
I don't know.
Another number one?
I didn't number them, but that was definitely a great one.
Okay, perfect.
Can't go wrong with an opening ceremony anyways.
No,
Super
that's
show,
true.
always amazing.
Oh man, last year, same thing. This year, perfect. Way to go about it. My hat's off to Century and Jocko.
What was your next one?
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna have to say the Hyper Team crew.
Yes.
And I will say the Hyper Team crew because
Hype.
they're, what did they say? Pushing it up? Is that what they said?
I think.
Pushing it up, right? Look, here's the deal. I don't know how you can get up as early as they get up and keep the energy going and giving away stuff.
I think they said Red Bull.
Oh, they did
Pretty
say
sure it was
Red
the Red
Bull.
Bull.
Red Bull or sweep the leg.
One of those.
By the way, cheers. Hopefully they aren't sweeping the leg in the early morning hours.
Why not?
Yeah, well, it's the Super Show. And,
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, right? I will tell you this. The Hype Team, and on a technical point, throwing it to the programs, and then coming and then having it thrown back to them, and they pick it up. They got their little booth. They got their little Vegas thing with the big cards, and everything, and giving away stuff. Which,
awesome.
By the way, side note, I'm just gonna say, I can't believe that poker hand didn't go our way. And you know who I'm talking about, because I was about to get a mask grab bag of those cool masks. But you know what? It looks like I'm just gonna have to go on to CenturyMartialArts.com and buy them myself, because that poker hand did not go our way. Oh, and side note, speaking of poker and those big cards, they are and the sword. They're giving out a sword. So I made this awesome joke. I said, you should cut the cards with that sword.
Cut?
Get it though? Like cut the cards. But, if you're shuffling them,
That's shuffling.
Is that shuffling? If you're shuffling them, and you got to cut the cards. Get it? Same deal.
Cut the deck.
So cut the deck, and they gave me a shout out on my joke, which I appreciated, but don't think they fully got it because it was a super.
Or they just didn't appreciate the humor.
Everybody appreciates a punny dad joke. Just so you know, everybody. So, but I did get somebody who did laugh at it.
That's good.
Mr. Pham. So he, one of the administrators. So appreciated that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about yours?
My next up?
Number dos.
I really like attending Dave Kovar's sessions. Whenever I go to the Supershow, I always make sure
Really?
I always attend Dave Kovar. Yeah, very inspiring, just good messages, good positive things. A lot of times I go to the Supershow and I look for a lot of nuts and bolts, things that I can take right from the Supershow and integrate into my studio. Very black and white, hands-on things that I can actually and you know, his seminar wasn't like that. It was just very you know, keeping your energy up and keeping your attitude strong and things like that. And I always if the opportunity ever arose where I could get some coaching, some business coaching, that is definitely, I was thinking to myself today, that's where I would go.
Yeah.
Of all the different things that I could choose, of places to go and people to get coached by, you know, if that was something that was in my budget, that's definitely where I would go.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I don't know about his coaching style or technique. You know, I really don't. I have seen him on Facebook's lives and stuff like that. Super impressed with, like you said, his energy and his messages. Mm-hmm. You know, because he could, I'm sure, get super technical and in the weeds and all that, but he keeps it like.
But I've been to a session too where he gave, you know, like top, 5 things to say to one of your students to, you know, to remind them that you're involved. You know what I mean? To check in with your students and take their temperature and see how they're doing in your student. Boom, boom. You know, it's very technical too.
So he gave you immediate value too.
So I know that, you know, I'm sure his trainings are meat and potatoes and, you know, inspirational and motivating as well.
What you need. I mean,
both,
both. How long has your school been under COVID?
Right, 3 months.
That's a long time.
Over 3 months, 3.5 months.
That's a long time to grind it out on the internet, in the Curry Dojo, not even in your place of business, because
can't even be in my studio.
You can't even be in your studio.
Still paying rent. Can't be there.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's brutal.
It's a rough go of it, right? So that being said, who needs that kind of inspiration right now?
We all do.
Right?
We all do.
My hat's off to Dave, Master Kovar, and his organization, and just keep pushing that out there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you wrap up with your third after I give my third. Is that right? Since I opened it, you can close.
Get it.
How about that? All right. So, first of all, I wrote about. I'm not gonna choose Mike Metzger. I'm not gonna choose him. And
Sorry.
Mr. Metzger, I wrote about you last year, and I thought you were awesome. I also thought you were awesome this year too. The immediate value you provide people, just to do it. I mean, he did it like almost on an overhead, like, you know, the old school.
Yeah.
Well, you know the old school overheads. You
burned my retinas for several years.
Yeah, but I think the person that I'm gonna close out mine with is Robbie Beard.
Oh yeah.
You know, his energy. First of all,
energy.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he gave 15 plus free points, essentially free points.
So many he lost track.
I know. He did lose track. He did. No, it was great though. Look, everybody needs relationships and relationship building advice, especially in today's day and age where, you know, I don't want to say, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say new normal. I just said it. But, you know, in this age of virtual training, online classrooms. We still have to connect with each other, right?
Absolutely.
And you've been doing that like constantly. Like every tip he said, every tip he said, I could have, directly correlated to you. But I also could have directly correlated it to the teleworking that I've done in my personal career.
Yep.
And this is what we're doing here. We're reaching out,
mm-hmm.
right? And so he building relationships, and I think that's the theme. I think building relationships in COVID-19. I tried to say all of those words at the same time. It didn't come out very well.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think building relationships in COVID-19 is the theme. I really do, honestly. And I'm not saying that because, I've been the one stuck at home. I'm saying that because it's just true. It makes everybody better. Building a community, the Maya community, the Century community, the martial arts community as a whole. I think we all support each other in some way. Each individual business, each individual school, it's just so important. So
absolutely. The business that we are in is a service business. Our business is, of course, we teach martial arts and we do a whole bunch of great things for other people.
See, you said that so much better than I did in like 2 sentences, where I spent a paragraph. Well,
my students have shorter attention spans.
Yeah,
I wrap things up quickly.
It's more.
You think about it too. Like what kept us in martial arts when we kind of didn't want to do it anymore, or when we were discouraged, or when we were just having a rough time, or we had too many things to do. And it would have been easy to say, yeah, it's my hobby, it's my side thing, I don't have time, I'm too tired. It's all those relationships that keep you there.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but for me, I still communicate with the people that I trained with when I was a kid, when I was a child.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I did an Ishinru black belt test in, was that March?
Yeah.
Right? My first black belt test in goodness, years, right? Like I did my second degree test in ITF in 2000. Well, Rocky Mountain Taekwondo was the later one, so I would say 2004. So that was the other black belt test, and I still had my master instructors from my original school show up via Zoom.
Yeah.
That is relationships, right?
Absolutely. It is.
And I'll tell you this, the relationships that I've seen you cultivate in LZFMA, between you and Ted, you guys have kept an amazing base of students that that's my dog, by the way. I'm sorry. she has a loud caller, but the amazing student base that you have here.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to see it when I was, I'd pop into one of your live Zooms or they even asked about your, what's going on with the Curry Dojo in the garage and stuff. So, no.
Well, we had a get together the other night. We're finally gonna be able to get the studio back open. So I had a free movie night for all the families. We all got together, and that was the theme. It made me a little misty when I thanked everyone for their continued support. We kind of lost a little bit of our population for one reason or the other that couldn't stick around, but we had an overwhelming support by our families because they're families. And when I thanked them all, I said we are Lake Zurich family martial arts, and that's exemplified by the fact that everyone's sitting here and everyone lent a hand. Everyone lent a hand, and if I had a parent that was in a bank, and a parent that could do this and that, and that could help us out through this, and they all overwhelmingly offered because this is a relationship business.
It is. You're absolutely right. The mayor. Talk about relationships. The mayor, the current mayor of is it Hawthorne Woods, right? Mayor DiMaggio.
Yeah.
He's a brown belt.
He's a student.
He's a brown belt, and he's sticks by LZFMA.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Huge relationship building. Well done, Mr. Robbie. Well done. So that's mine. I'm gonna let you close the segment out. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, the one that I always like to see, it'll be fast for me to talk about. The one that I always like to see, I like to see Master Rondi's school. She has the largest dojo in the world, like 24,000 square feet. And she, you know, she has a massive school. It's her school. It's her building. She runs this huge facility, and she always seems to think outside of the box and do different things, you know, out of the things you wouldn't even imagine possible. You know, like
Right.
we run a lot of birthday parties. Well, Master Rondi runs 4 birthdays simultaneously. You know, like I thought I had a pretty big facility. We're about 6,000 square feet. She's 4 times as big as us.
Oh,
And it's
man.
incredible. So just to see that and to imagine how many lives that she gets to impact through her and her instructors and her team is gotta be unbelievable. I would love to see it.
And didn't she just offer a satellite? Like, you know, they'll do a $0 setup if you join her organization, and they'll do, you know, consulting and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Didn't she just announce that today?
Something like that. Yeah.
That was great. If you didn't see that, because I obviously didn't do it justice, but if you didn't see that, go to it's on the Century Martial Arts Supershow website, right? Which is all of the recordings, right?
Yeah, but you won't see it unless you have a ticket.
Oh yeah. So get a ticket and go to the recordings and listen to her. Oh, by the way, she also hints at, and you'll see it in her location shot, she hints at an exit strategy. If you notice, she said, I did this and I set myself up for retirement so I could do, I could fulfill another dream while still maintaining, she's still teaching from a remote location,
Yep.
but she's retired. Can you believe that? Like, that is...
We don't really retire.
Nah,
from this
you're
ever.
right.
We don't
We
ever
don't.
really retire from
You're
this.
right. I guess she just changed locations to a much more tropical,
Palm tree laden.
Yeah, location. But it was good. It was a really, really good presentation. And by the way, Mr. Nguyen was the last presentation of the evening, and he was the only one who did it in his gi. And he also said, he talked about his father being a Vietnam vet and a helicopter mechanic. So I will just say this. My father was a Vietnam vet and was also a helicopter mechanic and a crew chief. So in Vietnam. And Vietnam vet in Vietnam. Yeah, he was in Vietnam. He was deployed to Vietnam, just like Mr. Nguyen's father. And I will say, you know, thank you for sharing that. Thank your father for serving and paving the way for young Mr. Curry's, you know, Jeff Curry's, and just thank you so much for serving. You know, I mean, I don't think the folks in our service industries, first responders, you know, military veterans, martial arts instructors, I don't think they get enough credit. So I just wanted to shoot that out there. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. First of all, that's a big segue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, super big. What has been the biggest COVID-19 challenge for you?
The biggest challenge for me is accepting the fact that I feel like I have taken some steps back. There's a lot of building that I have been trying to do over the last couple years. When I bought into my school, it was a pre-existing school. It had a great rep. I'd been there for a long time, but the student enrollment was low. I wanted this to be my full-time gig, and I wanted to teach as many students as possible, and we did a tremendous job building up our student base, and COVID crushed it. So accepting that has probably been the hardest part.
But you know where you can go, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, definitely understand. You can't downplay that at all. But do you feel that where you started from and where you feel like you have to start again, do you feel like you've just, it's kind of one of those, I mean, just to bring a silver lining to it, it's kind of one of those, you know, if I knew what I knew then, you know, if I knew what I know now, then this is what I would do. Do you feel like you're kind of in that, like, hey, I know what I know. I know what I didn't know then, and now we got to start new. Like, do you feel like?
I just feel like I've been pushed back, but catching up is going to be so much easier than it was to build it.
Sure.
You know, like
Sure.
I just got, like, I'm running in the wind,
Yeah.
and I just got pushed back, and now I need to run back up again. You know, and
that's good.
I'm in better shape. You know, or you know what I mean. Like if this was a physical thing, I'm in better shape. I'm smarter.
Right.
I will pace myself better.
Right.
You know, so yeah. But
some race strategies you've
yeah.
got and some training strategies.
Yeah,
right?
so there's the benefits. The benefits
Sure.
are, you know, it took some time for me to look back at my business, look back at, you know, how we were running things, look at how we can run things better and be out there longer for the long term. How can I make sure that I'm taking care of myself so that I can take care of everybody else on my personal life and at the business, so that I can keep doing this for a long time. So it afforded me the time to stop being so inside my business that I could actually look at my business. So the comeback is going to be rough, but it you know, there's a ton of positives. You know,
I like that it gives you perspective.
It really did.
No, that's great. That's good
It
stuff.
knocked perspective right in my face.
but that's good. But again, as you know, as painful as that may be, that's pretty valuable.
I welcome it. I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything that will ever be harder than this. I can't think of anything that would ever be harder than someone telling me that I have to close my business and still pay for everything and keep it running,
right.
But I have to lock the doors and continue to pay the rent and keep things going.
It's almost like a case study interview. You know, if somebody
what could be harder than that?
It's almost like if you walked into an interview for a job and they gave you the most ridiculous case study in the world. Like, hey, here's the situation. You're a business owner and you're shut down, but you have to keep your business open. What do you do? Like, that's what you're doing. That's what everybody's doing. So, guys, you're crushing it. You're crushing it. LZFMA's crushing it. So, you're going to come back even stronger because you're going to come out anti-fragile. I don't know if Nassim Taleb, Anti-Fragile, look it up, read it. It's a great book. You're going to come out of this anti-fragile. Speaking of, what are you using the virtual summit for to help your business, to help your team? Are you using it at all to help your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year was supposed to be the first year I was actually going to bring instructors to the Supershow.
Like a handful of them, right?
Yeah, I was bringing 3 of my awesome instructors.
Right.
They've been born and raised in this studio, and you know, they've never really gotten any formal training. That they've always just been in this little this
community,
this little
family martial arts community,
and they've never seen anything else. Not gone to too many other schools, or really seen the whole wide world, or not just doing martial arts training, but learning about teaching and learning about running a class and running a studio, and it was going to be awesome. So tomorrow we are going to tune in 8 to 4. And we're gonna put it on our big screen. We're gonna sit on the mat and we're gonna watch all the
together,
presentations, hanging out.
Gonna talk about it.
We're gonna have some snacks and we're gonna
write
take
some notes.
Yep.
Yes.
We're all gonna be hooked up in the Google Drive. Hashtag I love Google.
Little team building exercise. So again, silver linings. Couldn't do it live in person, right? Because at that point you would have just sent people to separate. Right, to separate venue or separate what's the word?
Rooms.
Presentations.
Yes.
Separate presentations. Words. and then you guys would have had to come back to collaborate. Now you can collaborate in the same room, masks, like the. Oh, we should have gotten the LZFMA masks.
Should have worn them.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's some in the kitchen.
Go grab one.
BRB.
Okay. I'm gonna hold this down. All right. So, again, masks in the same room collaborating, and they can all watch all of the presentations at the same time because none of them overlap, and it's great. Come on, bring those masks on over here.
Should we save them for the outro?
Let's just show it first. Let's just show what we would like. This is what I think. These are prototypes. These aren't Century products. But I think Century would knock these out of the park, to be honest with you. What do you think? You think Century would knock these out of the park?
Absolutely. They already got some great masks.
Oh, I know they got great masks, but I'm just saying with the LZFMA.
Oh yeah. They do my uniforms and my.
Yeah, they already have your print, right?
Yes, they do.
We just need Century masks. That's what I'm talking. Maybe in a blue. Like this, like in a blue.
Royal blue.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. See, so Chastity, look for those. Okay, look for those. But yeah, silver lining. Look for the silver lining and everything. And I think you're getting a lot of value out of this. I'm getting a lot, and I'm just sitting there being a nerd, being a martial arts nerd like I usually am, right? So I think let's do this. Let's go over tomorrow's schedule. What do you think?
All right.
And you tell me what you're looking forward to. I'm gonna pull this schedule up here. So you got the Mighty Mini Sleek Ninja workout at 8 a.m. with Eric the Trainer. You went to Eric the Trainer last?
I did not.
2 years ago?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
No.
Haven't been to that one yet. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Which one was it that we did the kettlebells and all that?
Oh yeah. I have to think about that.
Oh man. Anyway, all right. So Eric the Trainer, he's a beast. Frank Silverman's gonna hold it down with Jamie Goodell at the 9 a.m. We're gonna do some Master Ken enter the dojo, and we'll see what kind of shenanigans he brings up. I heard him today. He said, for the Dopik Chopra, it's the meditation thing on day 3. I think it's day 3. Anyway. He said, good luck meditating your way out of a fight.
Yeah.
And there's probably some sage advice there. Could you meditate out of a fight? If you could, would you teach it to anybody? You see how I'm trying to do my Master Ken thing right now?
I don't know. It's the other one.
Damn it. Anyway, we're doing a live roundtable discussion at 9:35 with Mr. Metzger and Shane Tassul and Chris Rodriguez. By the way, love your Forrest Gump parody. Awesome stuff. And then she's teed up at 10:25 to how to gain new students through virtual events. 11:25, you've got Dave Sklar, creating opportunity through crisis, virtual tournament.
Totally interested.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, by the way, Sensei Ichi held that tournament. Who won that one?
I will have to look it up.
We'll
have to look it up.
Naihamshi Sandan, right? Naihamshi Sandan. You're just probably gonna have to look it up. Go to Sensei Ichi's stuff. All right, you'll like it. You'll like it. It's good stuff. By the way,
Melody Johnson.
When is that? 11:55. Yep. How to work with children.
My teacher self loves Melody Johnson. Yeah,
right. She really does. Got Damon Gilbert. Perishable skills, de-escalate a situation. So I have been in law enforcement for several years, as I am an Army Reservist as well. And we always talk about de-escalation and crisis intervention techniques, or CIT. I am a CIT certified deputy sheriff. And I will say that de-escalation is extremely valuable, and so is active listening and empathy in a de-escalation situation. So look at that. This is awesome. This is really the root of self-defense, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kurt Klingemeyer, who Talk about building relationships with school districts. I think this is a really good one. I think you're going to...
I think he used to be a teacher too.
See, because you've got a really good, LGFMA has got a really good relationship with Lake Zurich. I mean, you've got the park right across the street. And you do stuff with the park district too.
Park district
and of course, we can't say enough about the first responders and Officer Mike Rossini.
Yeah.
Over in Hawthorne, and then you've got obviously Mayor DiMaggio there, awesome people. Robin Silverman teaching character. Who doesn't need character in a who doesn't think post-pandemic world doesn't build character? That's what I want to know. So I'm looking forward to that. Chris Rapold, adapt and thrive. Always have to adapt and overcome, right? Jocko Willink, adapt and overcome. Akil Acevedo, instructor-student connection, huge. Adam Parman, Shane Tassul, Stan Lee. Almost thought that was the Stan Lee, but not that Stan Lee. No. It's this Stan Lee of how social distancing measures can help you enroll more family members. Look, this is all Tule and John Boussard. Making money, retail sales, and then reducing friction with Stephen Reinstein to close out at 8:15. Long day, 8 a.m. starts 8:15 p.m. or 2015, as we say in the Army, in the military. That's when that last one starts. So you're looking at 13 hours at the end of this. So
12 hours 15 minutes actually.
Yeah, but at the end of it though, it's 8. It starts.
Oh yeah. I mean? End time.
Yeah, Hey, look, not a math guy. English literature. Sorry. Yeah, right. But look, guess who's going to be there the whole time?
This guy?
The hype crew. Oh, I'll be there too. Oh, it's going to be on. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong, streaming live. Oh yeah. But the hype crew. Whoop whoop. Oh, I just need you guys to please read up on your blackjack and your 5-card draw.
I need them to hype my life.
That's a little bit, right?
I need them in the morning.
Can we just order the hype team to ring the doorbell at 7:30 a.m. Bing bing, push it up, right?
That's a great idea.
Right?
That's how I want to start my day.
Let's do that. Let's just put a request in.
Okay.
You want to do that? You want to just give it a shot? It's COVID. Who cares, right? Maybe they'll just do a thing they'll don't FaceTime me in the morning because I look ugly without my coffee. So yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. These are contacts and these Anyway, so I think today went pretty well.
Very well.
I'm gonna leave it with you.
Wrap it up.
Go ahead. Wrap it up.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Check us out tomorrow for day 2, wrap up Martial Arts Supershow Virtual 2020.
#LZFMA. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.